Meanwhile, former President Barack Obama endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris for the Democratic presidential nomination on Friday. In a video posted by her campaign, Harris takes a call from Mr. Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama, thanking them for their support and friendship. The former president has vowed to do all that he can to help Harris defeat Donald Trump in November.
We called to say Michelle and I couldn't be prouder to endorse you and to do everything we can to get you through this election and into the Oval Office.
CBS News senior White House correspondent Weijia Jiang joins us now from the White House. So, Weijia, talk to us about the significance of the Obamas endorsing Vice President Harris and more about their history.
Well, this is a key endorsement because, of course, the Obamas are prominent leaders within the party who still retain plenty of influence, even though it has been several years now since former President Obama was actually here in the Oval Office. And it's also important to note that all of the other prominent leaders within the party had already offered their endorsement to the vice president, including former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, the Clintons, among others. But we do know now that the reason why this came after is because former President Obama wanted to give President Biden space to digest his decision, to share it with the American public, especially with regard to that prime time address that he made to sort of lay out why he made the decision to step down. So it was after that that the Obamas felt comfortable in publicly moving forward and reaching out to the vice president to say that they were here to do anything that could help her. And of course, they have known each other for quite some time now. And so this is not a new relationship, but it is a key one, Lana, as she moves forward with her campaign.
Well, I want to talk to you about Vice President Harris meeting with Netanyahu. She said that she had a, quote, frank and constructive conversation with the Israeli prime minister on Thursday. Is there anything more that you can tell us about that meeting?
So we know that she expressed that she obviously believes that Israel has its right to defend itself. But right after their meeting, she also made pretty extensive remarks that gave us the first look at how she sort of views the war in Gaza that could be different from the president. And she made very clear that while she does believe that Israel should have the right to defend itself, she also went on to say how it does so matters, referring to the tens of thousands of innocent civilians who have lost their lives. She also made a direct reach to people who have taken issue with the administration's handling of the war. She said, for those who are calling for a ceasefire, I hear you. And, you know, I think she made very clear that she would not accept the sorts of, the mass devastation that she pointed out yesterday in her remarks. And she really stressed how key it is for Israel to do its part to limit what we have seen. And so we still don't have a clear policy view of hers when it comes to this conflict. I actually asked John Kirby that during yesterday's briefing, whether her policy would be different than Biden's. And he said he couldn't speak for her. What he could say, though, was every step along the way, as she's been vice president, he said that she has been engaged and a partner and supportive, indicating that, you know, she supports all of Biden's policies. But I think that, you know, there is a desire for her to come out and if she wanted to, start making a differentiation, because we know that there are many people, especially in the Arab American community, who have threatened to withhold support to this administration in November because of the way it has handled support for Israel.
Weijia, in the last few seconds I have with you, Vice President Harris is making plans to name a running mate in the next few weeks. What are you hearing from your sources?
Well, this is an ongoing process as she is continuing to vet them. But we know just by watching television that many of the hopefuls are out in full force. They are auditioning, if you will. And we know that there are at least a dozen candidates who she is considering. You can see some of them right here. Many of them are Democratic governors, a couple members of the Biden administration, and some who are not currently holding elected office. And so she has a lot of good choices, ahead of her, but obviously she wants to choose somebody that can help balance out the ticket. And she has been criticized by Republicans for being a radical liberal and progressive. So perhaps she would choose somebody who is more moderate to try to signal to would-be voters that she is, more to the center than she has been painted by the right.
We certainly saw a couple of those on that list. Weijia, thank you.